Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. My brothers, they ain't no fraud. Authority, we stay in charge. These scriptures on one accord. You can't run a boulevard, and you just a buster. Don't come close to the army of the Lord, cause we the host. We everywhere from coast to coast. We on Shamar, holding post. Gotta keep that zeal to the end, till Yahweh shall come and I'm on that UFO. You can't serve two masters, you gonna have to lose your life and let it go. From city to city, state to state, we travel, doing the work of the Lord. Loving your brother is long suffering. To me, it ain't hard. The spirit is in me, that's the comforter given to all of the disciples. Me and Officer hopping out at the gun range, shooting off all of the rifles. Protect my nation, it ain't no thing to lay down my life for my friends. Ain't worried about the bands that making a lot of ends. The home of the truth ain't no pretense. America is a wicked empire, that's no lie. I prophesy judgment on this nation until I die. Wake up morning, noon, and night, serving the God of Israel. Keeping the zeal of the Lord, my oath I must fulfill. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. As I hit the battlefield, just watch me blaze this fire. I stay fresh with my boots lacing this One West attire. Come and ask me about my fringes. I know you see them swinging. Don't be hating on the priest. You see these lives that we changing and explaining how the Christian church has misled our people above all nations, but they'll tell you that we equal. Man, that shit evil. My zeal lit. Ain't no stopping it. And all my brothers shooters like Stoya. You poppin' shit will fall on you. We ain't gon' hesitate. Me and I one y'all, you talking about some heavyweights. We here to set the record straight and speak this knowledge. Cause iron sharpen iron, that's why my sword stay polished. Abolish all this faggotry. It's such a tragedy. Just follow the Lord's laws or you'll become a casualty. No fallacy, these prophecies will get revealed. I'm One West, so they bury me. I gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. That's right.
Man, they still hanging niggas, walking around with Confederate flags. These white folks wear their racism like a badge of honor. But in the ISUPK and the Commanding General, Your Honor, we talk to look at that white man and tell him about his wicked satanic empire called America. Yeah. My people need to go to war right now, the time right. But Martin Luther King ass niggas in the limelight, doing peaceful marches in the street. With the cops, they the KKK, but without the white sheets. If a nigga join police force, he Uncle Tom. Arresting your own people, you stupid dumb. You still working for the slave master. Train to shoot your own black race, put them in a grave faster. A good cop is a dead cop. I was taught at a young age to shoot and let the lead drop. All pigs do is tell lie after lie. Come, you ready? Try, you gon' die. The hell with all our.
Are you clear? You want to finish that video?
Officer Zakar, you ready?
Come on, sir.
This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street under the commanding General Yohana. We're the priests and the prophets of the nation of Israel. We are here to wake up our people, to teach our people the truth, to tell the blacks, Hispanics, the Native American Indians that we are the Jews of the Bible. So we are here to teach and to edify and to lead our people under the commanding General Yohana, which is the man that the Most High chose. The Most High only chooses one person to lead the nation of Israel. And that man teaches the man up under him. And those high-ranking men teaches the man up under them. So it's rank, structure, and order. Officer Zakar, you here? You there? I need that first precept.
Come on here, sir.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 verse 1.
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
I can't hear anything. Let me see. Technical difficulties. Excuse me, everybody. Officer Zakari.
Come on, sir. Can you hear me?
I can't now. What was going on with your phone?
Okay. Hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I wasn't sure what was going on, but give me the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, and it shall come to pass, that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God.
Slacky, hold on right there. So the Most High says, if you listen to what he's saying right now, but it's always the Most High. All he wants is obedience. He doesn't care about no excuses. All he cares about is obedience, because the Bible says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. So it's no reason why you shouldn't do it. He doesn't want to hear why you shouldn't do it, because either you're going to obey the Most High or you're going to disobey the Most High. But of course, if you don't want to obey, if you want to sin, the wages of sin is death, which I went over that the other week. So that's something that's earned. Read on.
Khan. If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So after coming out of Egypt with Moses, the Most High gathered with Moses, and we wanted to meet the Most High. We wanted to listen to the Most High. We went to the mountains, and of course, we were scared to death. And we wanted to. We was being rebellious against Moses, and after being scared to death by the Most High, we told Moses, "Well, yeah, you go ahead and talk to the Most High. We'll just talk to you. We don't want to talk to him no more." But the children of Israel was being disobedient, giving Moses a hard time. And after, going up that mountain, trying to talk to the Most High, being scared halfway to death, they realized that we don't want to talk to the Most High. We'll just deal with you, Moses. So the Most High has a way of humbling our people. So give me verse 28 and 15.
Khan. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt now hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So that day, we established a covenant with the Most High, and we agreed to it. So, and it says plainly that if we don't obey, if we don't do what we say we're going to do, if we break that covenant with the Most High, that these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So a curse is to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something. So a curse is not a good thing. The children of Israel have always been disobedient, and we always had an issue with following orders when the Most High put somebody, over us all throughout the Bible. So we always had to be judged or chastised because we wanted to not keep the commandments, even though we agreed to it. But I guess they didn't really think that Most High was going to be so strict or so severe in his punishment. But the Most High he has to keep his word. The Most High cannot lie. So if he tells you, if you don't do this, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, it has to be done. So that's just the way things are. Next precept is going to be 28 and 46. Book of Deuteronomy.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever.
So all throughout history, the children of Israel have always lived in the slums, the ghetto, the barrios, however you want to put it. We always lived away from the other nations. The other nations don't want to be dealing with us. They never did. They never wanted to deal with our people. They always looked down upon us. They always felt that they were better than us because that's just the way our oppressors are. They just want to rule over us, set up shop to make money off of us. Just like we have so many of our people today to where our women, I'm going to start with the women. If you got 20 women, 18 of those women are going to have synthetic hair. So, you got synthetic hair. Now we finding out that, it's causing cancer. It has all these things in it to where it's giving cancer. It's giving them all kind of issues. So, of course, they're already saying that we make too many babies. There's too many of us. And our oppressors, they're having issues with kids and even being pregnant or carrying kids. So they came up with the test tube babies and the artificial insemination, just so many things so they can compete with us. So we got to realize that a lot of the things they do is always about us to compete with us because it's a lot more of us than it is of them. But when you watch TV, they always say what we are. There's more of them than us, but that's not the case. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, the Bible says, we'll be like the sand of the sea. So yeah, nobody has more babies than we do. So we are not the minority; they are. But they want to paint this picture and this image to where they want everybody to feel like it's a lot more of them, but of course it's not. And I think Trump was saying something about possibly giving white people, the women, so much money for having kids now. So that was something that was definitely talked about and discussed. Give me 28 and 68, Deuteronomy.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So after that agreement, the Lord says you're going to go into Egypt again with ships. Egypt means slavery or bondage. That's what Egypt means. So we didn't take the Most High serious. Of course, we didn't obey. So we went into slavery again. We were gathered up in Africa, all parts of Africa, mostly in the West Coast, by the damn Hamites. They knew where we were, and we were shipped over here to the Americas. And so the Bible says we'll be sold into our enemies. So we were gathered up by the Hamites because they knew where we were. They helped our oppressors enslave us because they knew where we were. We lived amongst them to hide, and so we were sent over to the Americas. And the Bible says we'll be sold into our enemies. So the people that brought us over here aren't our friends like we think. Becky and Jack and Susan and whoever, those people aren't our friends. The Bible says we'll be sold into our enemies, and no man shall buy us. That means nobody shall save us. So there has been many revolutions to bring our people together, but the Bible wasn't present, so everything failed. Martin Luther King, he was Martin Luther King. He wanted together with the other nations. So we had our own, but he was paid under the table like most of our people are. So you can't be all black and for your people and not be in the system because they're going to silence you or they're going to take away your money. So you have to push their agenda. You can't be all for your people. You have to be for them, or you can be for your people, but it's only to a certain extent because they're going to make you sign all kind of contracts to where you're going to have to do their will and not yours. Because if you do, they're going to take your money. That's why you got so many celebrities, basketball players, football players. They might do something for the hood, build a youth organization. They might build a school, but it's not just for your people. It's for everybody. So it's always to benefit everybody. You're not going to be able to stand up and rise and fight for your people. It's going to have to be for everybody. Everybody has to benefit from it. It just can't be about you and your people like they do for theirs.
Right.
So that's just how our oppressor is. Let me see. Next free show. Let me try to get into this video. Let me see. Go here.
It's like, so if I could,
Go ahead.
Con, what you're saying right now is so heavy because with all the athletes and entertainers and businessmen and businesswomen we have in our communities, you see what I'm saying? It is ridiculous that we are not more economically advanced than we once were. You know what I'm saying? There were times we had Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Durham, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? There was always some type of black economy going on in America. You know what I'm saying? But today it seems like everything that we had that was booming just depleted. You know what I'm saying? We just giving all of our power and our honor and our strength over to these other nations. There was a time where in Black Wall Street where it would take a year for the dollar that for a black man's dollar that was spent there to leave that community. You know what I'm saying? Today you look at us today, you know what I'm saying? We spend a dollar like in our community. How long would it take for it to leave the community? Like what, a day? You know what I'm saying? The money is not being recycled. It's not being recycled and put back into us as a people.
I was happy with what you're saying, but besides Black Wall Street, there's other cities and towns that we established. But every time we do it and took care of our own, they came and demolished it and destroyed it and killed and slaughtered people. So there's been many towns that they've done this too, and many times that we established something, they just came and they just done away with it because they just want to rule over us and control us. So yeah, that was heavy what you're saying. I got a question. I was trying to play this video. Were you not hearing it?
I couldn't hear it.
Okay, let me try to start it again. It should.
If you could play it from your phone and then put your the speaker on your phone next to the sound on the computer, you could be people be able to hear it.
It's playing through the computer, so it should be playing right now because it's saying stop sharing if I want to stop sharing it. So it should be. Let me see. Let me try it again. Uh, hold the video. I don't plan to uh, 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 playing. That's good.
Okay, yeah, stop playing now. Just tell them grab with you right quick.
Uh,
I'm about to jump on right now. Yes. It's on the back of me.
Just bear with me. I had technical difficulties with the video. You the officer Tamakia Zakaria?
Say again, sir.
Okay, I was having technical difficulty with the video. Let me see. Inbox.
Slug, if I could, add it back to the share screen, and then I'm gonna see if I can stay on right quick.
Okay. Let me see. We close this. Screen rewind. Go to what I go to. I'm on
Present.
Present. Okay. And now what? PDF. Share screen.
Yeah, share your email.
Okay. Go to my videos or what?
Come.
Let me see.
Yep. Here it is right here.
There it is. Is it there?
Yeah. It's on mute.
Let me see. How do I? Okay.
Sexual exploitation of enslaved women.
And then if you want to rewind it, you can rewind it too.
Of experiences that overlapped or changed for each woman who experienced it, ranging from violent penetrative rape to other forms of sexual harassment to formalized concubinage. Just as men's sexual harassment varied, so did enslaved women's responses to it. The history of slavery in the United States is a dark and painful chapter, marked by the exploitation, dehumanization, and brutalization of African Americans. Within this harrowing narrative, the abuse suffered by Black female slaves at the hands of white men stands as a particularly egregious and overlooked aspect. In this video, we are shedding light on this haunting reality, exploring instances of appalling mistreatment, and highlighting remarkable cases that underscore the resilience and strength of the individuals who endured these horrors. Welcome to yet another episode on the untold abuse of Black female slaves by white men. Before we continue, do not forget to support our efforts by pressing the like button in front of you. Also, share with family and friends to keep spreading our eye-opening Black narrative, and subscribe to keep the channel growing if you are yet to do so. Let us continue. The United States was in the middle of a civil war 150 years ago, and while Abraham Lincoln had just issued the Emancipation Proclamation, it would still be another 18 months until freedom finally came for the 4 million African Americans held in bondage in the United States. The status of these people as non-human was so ingrained in the American psyche that even the rape of an enslaved woman could only be brought to court if it was considered to be a trespass on someone else's property. On the other hand, a man's rape of his own enslaved woman could not be a crime. After all, a man is free to do what he likes with his own property. It was this very aspect of enslavement that led to former enslaved woman Harriet Jacobs' lament. Slavery is terrible for men, but it is far more terrible for women. In recent years, genealogists looking into the ancestry of America's First Lady found Michelle Obama was the great-great-great-granddaughter of an illiterate field slave from Georgia named Melvinia, who gave birth at age 15 to a child by a white father, most likely to be the slave owner's son. As stories such as Melvinia's are largely lost to history, it is unclear how many Americans, now living as white or Black, have African American ancestors who endured some form of sexual abuse. What we do know, from the prevalence of references to this in the testimony of former slaves, is that either sexual abuse was a common occurrence, or the cases that occurred were so traumatic and the fear of abuse so great that these former slaves were unable to omit it from their description of enslavement. An enslaved woman was a sex tool beneath the level of moral considerations. She was an economic good, useful in addition to her menial labor for breeding more slaves. To attain that purpose, the master mated her promiscuously according to his breeding plans. The master, his son, and other members of his family took turns with her to increase the family's fortune and to satisfy his extramarital sexual desires. Guests and neighbors were also invited to this luxury. To combat the high rate of death among slaves, plantation owners demanded females start having children at the age of 13. By the age of 20, the enslaved women would be expected to have about 5 children. As an inducement, plantation owners promised freedom for enslaved females once they bore 15 kids. If the enslaved woman was considered pretty, she would be bought by a plantation owner and given special treatment in the house, but often subjected to horrifying cruelty by the master's wife, including the beheading of a child because he was the product of an enslaved master affair. Often, the plantation owner would entertain his friends by forcing the enslaved blacks to have orgies, and the white men often would participate in the debauchery. A certain group of enslaved women were deemed Jezebels by their owners. These women were assumed to be even more promiscuous than the other enslaved black women, and were often subjected to sexual abuse multiple times throughout the day. While white men forced these Jezebels to have sex with them, they insisted that it was the enslaved woman's fault for being so promiscuous. The brutal enslavers would also use black female slaves for gynecological research, all the while not providing them with anesthesia. J. Marion Sims, the father of modern gynecology, purchased countless black women slaves and used them as guinea pigs for his untested surgical experiments. He repeatedly performed genital surgery on black women without anesthesia because, according to him, black women don't feel pain. Anarcha, one of those women, was an African-American slave woman who was forced to regularly undergo surgical experiments while positioned on Sims's table, squatting on all fours and fully awake without the comfort of any anesthesia. It would be more than appropriate to credit Anarcha, along with other nameless slave women, as the mothers of gynecology. Slave masters also had sex farms where they would rape black men, women, and children. The raping of black men was called buck breaking. Marriages among the African slaves were also not recognized by their white enslavers, as the slaves, females and males, remained their property, which they would use however they wanted, whenever they wanted to. The historical abuse of African female slaves has been nothing short of devastating. As early as the 1490s, Christopher Columbus established trade in sex slaves on Hispaniola. Within 25 years of being colonized, the population of Hispaniola natives declined, dying from enslavement, massacre, or disease. In addition to putting the natives to work as slaves in his gold mines, Columbus also sold sex slaves to his men, some as young as 9. Columbus and his men also raided villages for sex and sport. In the year 1500, Columbus wrote, "100 castellanos are as easily obtained for a woman as for a farm, and it is very general, and there are plenty of dealers who go about looking for girls. Those from 9 to 10 are now in demand." Sex slavery and forced labor were among the many brutalities that Columbus and his crews inflicted on the native Taino people on the island of Hispaniola, now the site of
Con, you there, other one? You there, Officer Dakari?
Couple guns, sir.
That was a heavy video. I couldn't really stand to listen to no more. So as you can see, they started sleeping with our little girls when they were 9. So this shit that goes on today with our oppressors, it's been going on. How they've been molesting how they've been molesting kids, how they molest our kids at 9, how they used to do all kind of horrible things to our men, our women, our children. Gotta realize ain't nobody paid for that yet. That's why Christ has to come back. That's why the Bible says his vesture is going to be dipped in blood with a name that nobody knows. And that's his reputation, to where they think that Christ is just this nice little white man with blonde hair and blue eyes and some flip-flops. Now he's a black man with woolly hair, with red eyes, that's coming back pissed off. because he didn't die. He didn't die for that. He didn't die for us to continue to sin, even though we were disobedient to the Most High. Our oppressors took it way too far. So now they gotta pay. They gotta pay for what they did. Officer Tamaki there.
Yeah, come.
I mean, any comments you can definitely comment. But I'm gonna go to this next precept, 28 and 47. But yeah, I couldn't stand and look at more of that video, because I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know. They were sleeping with our little girls at 9 years old. 9. And the slave woman had to have what 5 kids by the age of what, 21, 20. So she started having kids at 11, 12 years old. Salakia.
Yeah, kind of, if I could add too.
Go ahead, Adam.
I want to say it was Thomas Jefferson that used to have kids under, that same age. As he go to sleep, they sleep in the bed with him, but by the foot of his bed. So we all know where that ended. You know what I mean? It's just, it's sad that we still want to serve this wicked and disgusting nation when they put a face on the Bible that, doesn't even belong there. And, that face is called Christianity. So it's just, we got to stand against Christianity nowadays, man. Like the same type of Christian that they was, talking about in the Bible isn't the same type of Christian that we see here in America or for, say, the whole world today. So this class you bringing out is heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing.
Off the car, you got any comments? Now we can go to the next precept, Deuteronomy 28 and 47.
So you said Deuteronomy 28 and 27?
28 and 47.
28 and 47. Khan. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger.
We're going to serve who?
Our enemies. It's like thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So watching that video, we served our enemies, and we had to depend on them for hunger, for thirst, for nakedness, in all things. We have to depend on enemies for all things. And they did what they did to our men, women, and children, whatever they wanted. Whatever the hell they wanted. They put a yoke of iron on our neck until we were destroyed. Because she always had those Negroes that wanted to run away, and you always had that coon that, he snitched on everybody and got you lynched. But you got to realize, being a coon to our oppressor, the oppressor is going to need you until he don't need you. Because he's saying to himself, you selling out your own people, you snitching on your own people. You think I can really trust you? So you got to realize that, being a coon or Uncle Tom doesn't get you anywhere. You got to love your people. Christ taught brotherhood, how to love your brother. If you got an issue with your brother, you go to your brother and you fix it. And when we don't keep these commandments, when you see the brothers and the sisters in the ISBK, when we have an issue with our brother or sister, we go to them, we talk to them. But brothers of the world, they let it fester, and they realize, and they figure that they have to get even, but they don't know the Bible. So Christianity, you got a personal relationship with God, so you pissed off. So he didn't talk to me crazy, so now I got to get him. So now I got to put out go get my boys, or put out the Draco or whatever, and I got to shoot somebody. So that's what, not keeping the laws, not going to your brother and fixing that problem. That's what it causes. whole bunch of sin, a whole bunch of death, a whole bunch of murder. And it's your own people. Somebody looks like you. But we ain't doing that to our oppressors. We just killing each other. Why? Because it's taught. That's why I continue to say that Christianity is a hell of a drug. Give me that next precept, Deuteronomy 28 and 33.
Khan. This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors
Hold on right
shall
there.
a nation which thou
Hold
knowest not.
Hold up. So you got to realize the fruit of our land and our labor. So all the things that we did in slavery, all the building, taking care of the animals, and just doing so many things to help our oppressors, we didn't benefit from none of that. All we got is a little bit of food. Still got beat to death. Still got raped. All these horrible things continue to happen to us, and all we did was made our oppressors rich. We don't.
Khan. Shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
So the video we saw, we was oppressed. We were crushed. And it says, thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. So we got oppressed and crushed. Men, women, and children had no hope. Couldn't read the Bible. You better not. If you would have got caught reading that Bible, you got your eyes plucked out. You would have got unalive. Horrible things to read in that Bible, because that Bible inspired Nat Turner. Nat Turner knew who were the Israelites. He said, "Oh, we shouldn't be in slavery," and he rebelled. So they didn't want no more of that. After the Nat Turner incident, they were in fear of another uprising. And any time they thought somebody was going to uprise, they got killed, just like that, because they didn't want that to happen again. But guess what? There's a black man named Black Man, which is our king, Yahweh Shah. He's coming back. Black man that you can't kill. The red eyes, woolly hair. It's going to come out of the sky. It's going to be a scary sight for our person. A black man that you can't kill with bullets. A black man that you can't beat with a billy club. Because Christ says, he said out of his own mouth, I'm coming back, but I won't meet you as a man. How Christ was made fun of, spit on, hung on the cross before. No, it's not going to be the same Christ. He's going to have a name that nobody knows, with a vesture dipped in blood. It's going to be a glorious day. It's going to be a glorious day, because guess what? All the prayers, all the cries from this land, blacks, Hispanics, and natives throughout all the world, all the cries from the soil, all those prayers go up to the Most High. When somebody dies, when the Israelite dies in the hand of an oppressor, that blood cries to the Most High. It cries. And guess what? Christ is coming back for vengeance. So all the things that y'all have done since the beginning of time, it's gonna be, what was that song by James Brown, The Big Payback? It's gonna be the big payback. I wish I had that song to play right now. Give me my next precept. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 64. 28:64.
Khan. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
All these religions we're in these days, our forefathers sinned. They worship all kind of idols, but all the things that we are into these days, you know, you meet a chick, and you talking to her, the first thing she gonna say she's spiritual, whatever the hell that means. She's spiritual, or, you know, she's into nature and you know and the stars and you know all kind of astrology, all kind of crazy things. But I mean, our forefathers didn't know about all the things that we're into now. And it says wood and stone. So wood is a Christian cross. They came over here with those crosses. Serve our God or die. Some of us sold out. Some of us said, "Oh well, we'll just die." Uh, if the heaven that we're going to, you're going to be in it, I don't want to be there. So yeah, we'll die. But a lot of us knew that, knew about regeneration. So we was going to come back. So we was okay dying and not serving other gods. And stone, that's the copper stone, to where, you know, you're a Muslim. You're going to bow down and kiss the rock. Months ago, so many of those Muslims were over there dying in that heat, thinking that damn rock going to save them. A lot of them died. And a lot of them quit serving that damn rock because they realized, guess what? Their God wasn't with them. Let me see. Next precept. Songs of Solomon. 1, verse 1, 5, and 6.
So you said Song of Solomon chapter 1 verse 5, or Song of Solomon 1 verses 1 through 5?
Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5 and 6.
This is the Song of Solomon chapter 1 verse 5. I am black, but
what?
calmly. I am black, but calmly.
Come.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Come. So King Solomon said he's black. He's black and beautiful. So this is a black book. It's all about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It's no oppressors in this book. When you read about an oppressor, it's them oppressing our people. There's no white angels. Everything's black. Everything has color. So it's all about the Israelites and for the Israelites. Give me verse 6.
Khan. Verse 6. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept.
So again, he's talking about his color, how black he is. And in verse 5, he's talking about he's black and comely, or black and beautiful. So this is Solomon. And out of the same lineage, our King Jesus Christ came from this lineage. So he couldn't be white with blonde hair, blue eyes. Give me my next precept, book of Job, chapter 30 and 30. I'm going to show you some more black in this Bible. All the prophets.
Khan. This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
Job is specifying how black he is. He's saying his skin is black upon me. Like a lot of us can say that these days, a man that's really, really black, Wesley Snipes, or that was like a figure of speech, or Michael Jordan. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. And that's a condition. That's a condition we are in today. Working for our oppressors. We black. We go through hell. We go through hell. And, you know, you think we're going to come home and to a nagging wife or a nagging rib. We come home. We come home for peace and joy. We come home. A woman's supposed to be a good thing. So, you know, being at work all day dealing with these oppressors and these other nations, we're supposed to come home and get peace. So that's just a little something, you know, for our ribs, for our wives. So give me my next precept, which is Revelations 1 and 1.
Khan. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Jump down to verse 12.
Khan. Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
7 churches. Go ahead. Verse 13.
Verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
This is Christ, the description of Christ and what he was wearing. Go ahead. Verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Again, he has woolly hair. And his hair is white and his eyes are red. So when he comes back, you're gonna have that same woolly hair, them eyes are gonna be red because he's gonna be pissed off. It's gonna be a day of judgment. Give me verse 15.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
So his feet was burned like his feet was like brass. It's like as if it was burned in the furnace. So he was very, 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 very black, very, very dark, a Wesley Snipes dark. And Christ had a very, very loud voice because he spoke to the multitudes. So that's our description of our king. So there's nothing but black in this Bible. Give me Leviticus 18 and 26.
Khan. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 26. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you.
So we're supposed to keep all these commandments. We're not supposed to do what the other nations do. And that's been the whole problem with the nation of Israel. We want to follow the other nations' gods. We want to be like the other nations. We got our own God. We got the only true living God. But we want to follow other nations and serve a God that can't do anything for you. I mean, I never could understand that. So, we got to learn to keep these laws and these statutes and these commandments and quit following these other nations or whatever. So we can get out of this hell and our King Christ can come back and put these nations into chains. And so we can rule this world because it was made for us. It's all about Israel. It's all about Israel. It's not about anything else but Israel. One minute. Give me Leviticus 19 and 26, our next precept.
Khan. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 26. Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment, nor observe times.
So I'm a person, I've hung out with my oppressors from work and some of my bosses, and they want me to cook. And they want me to sear that damn steak 1 minute on one side and 1 minute on the other side. That damn steak is bloody. It's raw. That's how they are. That's how they eat their food. But we can't eat the blood. We cannot eat that. So we have to cook our food. And we can't have any of the blood because it is against the Most High. And that you will get judgment for eating something raw. And it says, neither shall you use enchantment. So all these spells and all these potions and stuff that some of our women be buying and into those damn tarot cards, we can't live that lifestyle. That lifestyle is for all persons. But Israel, guess what? If you want to live that lifestyle and do those things, you're gonna get judgment. And again, the wages of sin is death. A wage is something that you earned. And how do you earn it? By sin. And your payment is death. Let me see. Give me jump to Leviticus 19 and 28.
Khan. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh
You
for the
should not work.
dead. Make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead.
So all the time, I talk to my people, talk to my family. Chan, hey, don't you know that tattoos are against the Most High? Right. Where's that at? Well, Leviticus 19 and 28. And, in time, they get more and more tattoos, so they don't give a damn. Finish that out.
Khan. Nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
So that is a commandment to where you don't supposed to have tattoos. So a lot of people, the Bible is a true book because it says you should not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. So how many people do you know they have a tattoo of somebody that passed away? We all know somebody with a tattoo of somebody that passed away, whether it's a mother or whether it's a brother or whether it's a grandpa or grandma. Somebody. Everybody has a tattoo of somebody that passed away, and the Most High says don't do it. Any tattoo you can't have. That's against that is against the commandments. That is a commandment not to do this. So when Christ comes back and we set up our kingdom, it ain't gonna be no commandment. So Esau, y'all have y'all fun. See, the Asians are big on tattoos, how they have sleeves. So it ain't gonna be none of that. So y'all have y'all fun, because when our king comes back, y'all gonna keep our commandments, just like we keep y'all filthy laws. But not our brothers in the ISPK. We keep the laws and the statutes and the commandments, and we show brotherhood and sisterhood to our people. Give me my next piece. So give me Romans 3 and 3.
Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
So the priests and the prophets, we go and preach and teach to our people. We tell them what the Bible says, what it means. We tell them the times that we're living in right now. We let them know that our king is about to return. Repent, get in this truth. Women, cover your head, put on a dress. Men, get in all black, get in this truth, so you can become a priest and a prophet like you were meant to. And just because they don't believe, that doesn't mean anything. Our job as priests and prophets is to tell the people and wake them up. If they don't want to change, as long as we tell them, guess what? The blood is not on our hands. So, we've done our job. Give me verse 4.
Khan, verse 4. God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
So let God be true, every man a liar. So if you want to continue to be evil and wicked, guess what? You're going to get judgment. All we can do is tell you what you should and shouldn't do. But these laws that you have to keep in this way of life, you have to get into the school. You have to watch the online classes. It has to be taught, because nobody knows everything. I'm a priest and officer in the ISPK. My officer Zakari, we wasn't always in this truth. So we had to learn by coming to class and watching classes online what we needed to do to not get judgment and not to suffer from the Most High, how to please the Most High. So you have to keep the commandments. That's the only way that you're going to be able to please the Most High. getting this truth. The truth is, the ISPK, the home of the truth. It teaches you to bond with your brothers and sisters as a family. It teaches you to go to those feast days, do all the things that's required, travel, spend money and fellowship with your brothers and sisters. The kids run around, people lay down cell phones, wallet, keys, nothing ever gets stolen. Nobody's going to take your kids. Nobody's going to touch your kids. Nobody's going to do anything to your wife, to your husband. Everybody's going to have a good time. Everybody's going to keep the commandments. Why? Because the men and the women and the children of ISPK, we were taught to fear the Most High, and we got brotherhood and sisterhood. So that's the difference. My first Passover, I was blown away. How nobody stole anything, how you can leave on your purse, your cell phone, your keys, and whatever. Nobody touched it. Kids was running away, and people up front, hey, somebody lose a child? This is their description. Oh, yeah, he's my child. So, it was a glorious thing with all tribes, coming together, celebrating as a nation of people. So, yeah, that's a glorious thing, celebrating the Passover with your people. So it's going to be a lot of partying when Christ come back and we set up our kingdom. Give me John 3:16.
It's the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
So God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. So let's jump to a precept to that. Let's jump to Isaiah 45:17. Let's see what world he's talking about. He's not talking about everybody like people think.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end.
So that's what he was talking about. He was talking about the word of Israel. So once Christ comes and set up our kingdom, it's never going to end. So it's never going to end. So this is what this is why we live, to preach and teach our people to keep these commandments. So Esau's kingdom can end. So our kingdom can so we can rule. So right now we're in hell. So we want Esau's kingdom to fall so we can so we can rule. Because right now, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we're in our hell right now. And all the nations rule over us. All the nations feed off us. And you can only be in this truth and understand that and see that. But being in the Christian church, you're just gonna say, well, I'm just gonna pray about it. And when Christ comes, we're gonna all be together. We're gonna all be happy. But we were never all supposed to be together, because this is only about Israel and for Israel. It's only for the tribes, not the other nations. Give me book of John. So speaking on that, so if God loved everybody, you got to realize he killed the Egyptians. He flooded everything. They came out to children of Israel, and the Egyptians were African. So we look similar. We just had dark skin, but we're not the same people. So the God of the Bible, he killed many nations of people. He told a lot of our priests and prophets to kill other nations of people. A lot of times we didn't obey. And to this day, a lot of those things came back to hunt us because we didn't obey the Most High. But the children of Israel have always been disobedient. We're coming to an end right now, and a lot of our people are coming into this truth. Christ is going to come back, and guess what? We're going to be obedient. We're going to serve our King. And we're going to rule over the other nations with a rod of iron. Give me the book of John, chapter 18 and verse 20.
This is the book of John, chapter 18, verse 20. Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whither the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing.
So Christ only went to the Jews to speak to the Jews, to preach and teach to the Jews. He didn't go to all the nations like people say. I don't know where they're getting this garbage from, to where Christ loved everybody and he went to all nations and he loved all nations. No, the Bible plainly says Christ only went to the Jews, spoke to the Jews, healed the Jews. There was one instance to where he healed this oppressor's daughter, but that was for a different reason. But Christ only went to our people to help our people to get us out of this hell that we were living in. So that was his job. That was his purpose. Give me Matthew chapter 15 and verse 21.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 21. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. Verse 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. Verse 23. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Hold on right there, Alex. So right there, it was another nation of people. She was from another nation of people. That's the story I was talking about earlier. So that you see that we didn't deal with the other nations. So they were completely ignoring this woman. And so his disciples were saying, send her away. And she cried after us. And it says, my daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. So that means she's had some kind of deformity to where, maybe she couldn't walk, or she couldn't talk, or maybe she had cerebral palsy. So when you possessed with a devil, which is just an angel, so you got angels that heal, you got angels that kill or destroy. So they consider demons. It depends on the job title. And so back then, somebody that say they were alcoholic, we would say, well, they got demons. But today, what would we say? We would say they're alcoholic. Or today, somebody that's on crack. Back then, we'll say, they have a demon. Today, we'll say, well, they're a crackhead. But you got to realize those demons inflict those habits that we have. So you have to, come into this truth in order to be healed from all of that. And Christ healed. He healed many. Read on.
Verse 25. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. Verse 26. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs.
So Christ was saying it's not good to take the children's bread, the children's blessing, and cast it to another nation. So he plainly told her, I come for the children of Israel. And it's not good to give my blessings to another nation of people. Read on. Verse 27.
Verse 27. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table.
So she realized, well, you're right, Lord. She knew her place, and she knew exactly what Christ was saying, and she didn't rebel. She wasn't. She was humble about it. So give me verse 28.
Verse 28. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee, even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.
So Christ healed another nation. He healed the woman's daughter because she was humble and she knew her place. And she recognized who the children of Israel were, and she knew who Christ was here to save. But she knew that she can get a blessing only if she would be humble to our King and listen. And she was obedient, so he said, "Okay, I'll heal your daughter," only because of that. Give me Book of Psalms, chapter 147, and verse 19.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his commandments, right, unto Jacob,
Come.
his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So the Most High only gave his laws to the children of Israel. He didn't give his laws to all nations of people. And just like Christ said in that last scripture, I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I'm not sent to save the other nations. I'm not sent to help the other nations because we need to be saved from them. They don't need to be saved from us. We are the one that's oppressed. We are the ones that's on the bottom. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is going to rule in the next kingdom that's coming, and it's right around the corner. Let me see what we got. Give me Book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord, your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed.
So God makes it clear here that he's only with Israel. He's only for Israel. Christ only came to save the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So it's all about Israel and it's for Israel. It's not for the other nations of people. Give me Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against the word that the Lord has spoken against you, O Israel, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So Israel, you can't do what the other nations will do, because the Most High is making it clear He's going to punish you. He's going to put you through it. So you can't follow the other nations. You can't serve their gods. You can't be whores. You can't be drug addicts. You can't be doing all these things these other nations are doing, because the God of the Bible says He's going to punish you. The laws, the statutes, and the commandments was given into the children of Israel. So we're not allowed to be like the other nations. We have to be set apart. We have to be separate. We have to be holy. I got one more precept and we're going to end this. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes, and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So most of us, a lot of people, we got a lot of members in our HBK. There's a lot of people, there's more Christians than us. But the point is, if everybody was in this truth like us, they would say this is a wise and understanding people. But being in Christianity, we still in this alternative lifestyle. Women want to be men, women want to be priests. All that's against the Bible. All these damn sodomites in the Christian church, molesting, and molesting kids, it's just wicked and just evil. and that's why they're not saying that we are wise and understanding people, because we're not serving the true God. We're serving religion, and it's not, and it's our oppressor's religion, something that we taught, and that religion keeps us bound to our oppressor, and it tells us that we got a personal relationship with God, and we should pray for peace in the Middle East, and we should pray for everything, and God doesn't work like that. You have to keep the commandments of the nation of people. Those people right now in Israel, the Israelis, they're committing genocide, but nobody's doing anything about it. The whole world is watching the Palestinians getting executed, genocide. They've been being starved. They're not letting food in. They're not letting medicine in. They're not letting nothing in. Thousands and thousands of people have died. So many each day. And nobody's doing anything about it. People crying and complaining about it, but nobody's doing anything about it. But when the Native American Indians were here, they did them the same way. Nobody did anything about it. So our person has a big tab to pay. And our king will be here soon. It will be the great day of reckoning. So that's all I got. Ak, you got the announcements or no?
Hey, Salagi, if I could, while he get the announcements.
Go ahead.
Rockhound, we see you in the chat. You feel me? He said, Israel has horrified the world, right? And then he says, Israel has made the land unholy. So if I could, you know what I mean? First of all, those aren't the Israelites that's in the land of our forefather Israel. Those are heathens, right? Imposters that control the diamond industry, right? Control the oil industry, wants to take over the gas industry. You know, they are vagabond and culture vultures. So they haven't made the land unholy. They have stolen land from the chosen people. And that's what makes the land an abomination now, where they have holidays in America called Pride Month, you know, LGBTQ movements. So, you know, we just got to come back to our identity, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and stop being perpetrated by the perpetrators. You know, getting the old okie doke with Christianity. And we just got to fall back in line with these laws, statutes, and commandments, or, you know, like the priest was bringing forward, we're going to go through these curses in Deuteronomy, generation after generation. You know, all the tribes on this shirt, from Levi to Gad to Reuben to Manasseh, Issachar, Judah, Benjamin, Zebedee, I said Zebedee, Zebulon, Naphtali. It's like, you know, yeah, God. So, you know what I'm saying? We just got to start loving each other and choosing each other. And that's what's going to bring and provoke our king to come back. You know what I mean? It's going to come a time for us to take accountability for our actions and stop being immature with it. You know what I mean? Like, these pagan holidays is what's going to slow us down. Celebrating Juneteenth and turn around celebrating July 4th, like a double-minded man is unstable in all ways. You can't serve two masters. So, you know what I'm saying? The water for this class, you know what I'm saying? The water to Officer Zakaria. You know what I'm talking about?
Excellent reading.
Yeah. But that's all I got, Rockhound. You know what I'm saying? Always feel free to comment. You know what I'm saying? Chime, subscribe, like. He said stop genocide. Well, they stopping the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians reparations over here in America too. So tell them to stop that. You know
Slakia, I don't want. Is he a oppressor or is he one of us?
I don't know. The
We
picture
do.
look like it may be Arab,
Okay, no sweat. I mean, yeah. I mean,
but Salagi,
yeah, genocide is genocide. You know, I kind of agree with that. I mean, but you know, ain't nobody doing anything about it. So you know, that's the world we live in now. So I mean, what they going through, we've been going through for 400 years plus. So you know, it's what it is. When Christ comes back, all that's going to be cut off. So it's not their land anyway. So we got the announcements.
Come. What? These are the ISUPK security announcements. We at the ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. War for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teachers will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. You're the treasury department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The next high holy day is the Feast of First Fruits. Starts after the Sabbath, Feast of Unleavened Bread, sundown, Sunday, April 20th, 2025, count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day, which is Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Start before sundown. This can be found in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 through 22. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and/or scarf. And with that, I pass the class back to Priest and Officer 50 Yaganan.
Anything else out of one? Anything else out?
Allah, sir.
Salute to the teacher.
Oh, Sluggy. Oh, we got the Feast of First Fruit. You know what I'm saying? Coming up with the Sunday. Y'all tap in with y'all local camp leaders and zones. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be celebrating it at the schools in San Antonio, Houston, Killeen. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, Austin. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. Sluggy, the water.
Oh, that's right. Man of Israel. Courtesy salute to the teacher. Man of Israel. Imagine. Imagine. Yahweh Hashem. So, to the east. Courtesy salute to the sisters. Man of Israel. Imagine.
Yeah, I'm smaller than myself.
Class is missed.